What's up, everybody? It's Stas here. So Coinbase stock, everybody's been talking about this. It's been the talk of the town on YouTube and the traditional media. We've seen everybody going over Coinbase. So I figured, let me make my video. We'll talk about my opinion here today. We're going to break down whether or not there is a red flag here with the direct listing method as opposed to the traditional IPO, which most companies go the IPO route. We'll talk about the difference here, and I also want to go over again my opinion on Coinbase stock. Am I buying it today or not? And we're also on top of that going to break down their recent earnings numbers and some numbers for 2021 that they could potentially see. So let's just get right into it. And if you all find value, hit the like button, subscribe, get yourself some free money down below, check out my Patreon, all that good stuff, link down below. And let's just get into it. I don't want to waste too much time today at all. And the Coinbase stock IPO is probably going to be, and it's not technically an IPO, we'll talk about that now. This is probably going to be the biggest stock that's going public in 2021. There's no doubt in my mind. There's analysts out there that say it's going to open up valued at $100 billion. I saw $147 billion, $150 billion. So this is a very hot IPO, and again, it's not even an IPO, and we might as well talk about that right now. So traditionally, most companies, well, nowadays we've seen a lot of SPACs, which is kind of like a new age thing where a lot of companies, they find a blank check company and they go public via a SPAC. That's one way to do it, but the traditional way is the IPO, the initial public offering, right? You raise a ton of money, you have underwriters working for you, investment bankers, banks, institutions, and you pretty much list a bunch of new shares. That's the initial public offering. That's pretty much the basis of it, right? And the underwriter works closely with the company throughout the IPO process, including deciding the initial offer price of the shares, helping with regulatory requirements, and just working closely, right, guys? That's kind of the IPO process. And the big key difference you must understand in an IPO, like I said, there's new shares that are put out there, right? There's new shares that are put out there, and the underwriters, they take sometimes a 3% fee to a 7% fee, anywhere in that area. So they do get their cut of the share price. And when it comes to a direct listing, which is what Coinbase is doing, and by the way, it's going to be ticker symbol COIN, also known as Coin. Pretty good ticker if you ask me, right, guys? And the biggest difference with a direct listing, guys, is there are no new shares that are being put out there, right? They're not creating new shares to throw into the market. In fact, the insiders are selling the shares, right? That is how it works. So if you're going to be buying Coinbase today, you're not buying brand new shares that were just listed. You're buying the existing shares from the insiders. And in other words, the insiders are dumping the shares on you. And you have to understand this, right? When a stock goes public, insiders, people that are executives or they have institutions that are privately accredited to, invest in these stocks, they have been in for a while. So they've made so much money on Coinbase already. Now that it's going public, this is kind of their chance to get out. They're dumping it on the markets, and that doesn't mean necessarily Coinbase is an awful investment, because for all we know, it could be $500 billion one day, and right now it's $100 billion. It could go up 5x. It could do very well over time. There's no doubt about it, but you have to understand how it works, and you have to understand that in the short term, now that we see this is a direct offering, right? It's a direct offering. They're not making any new shares. They're having the insider sell to you. You have to understand there's going to be volatility, right? The stock could go down a bunch, up a bunch more, back down a ton more. And another key thing that you must understand is it's going to be a bit more difficult, right? Because there's less supply of the shares to actually get filled. You might have difficulty buying shares if there aren't insiders that want to sell to you, right? Because in an IPO, there's a lot of shares created, like I said, so it's pretty easy to get in and out. There's a lot of volume, but now with the direct offering, or direct listing rather, it's going to be pretty difficult. Well, I don't think it's going to be that hard. I mean, yeah, sure, you'll be able to move 100 share lots or whatever, but if you're doing big moves or making big moves and trading in and out, you might see some difficulty, right? But then again, probably not, because like I said, the insiders, they're selling the shares to you. And based on the level 2 data, I was looking at it on WeBull earlier, and level 2 pretty much shows the order book, or the order, it's not the order flow, it's the order book pretty much for the particular stocks, right? There's a lot of sell orders coming in for Coinbase, so that's a bit worrisome. And there's sell orders to $20 million. I was looking at it, 80,000 shares, 100,000 shares. There's a lot of sell orders coming in, so just be mindful of this. And I'm not saying Coinbase is a terrible stock, terrible one to get in right now. For all we know, it could be very good, but you have to understand there's going to be volatility, it's going to be choppy, and it could go down a bunch. I mean, I was reading an article, this one analyst thinks the true market cap size for Coinbase is $20 billion, and right now it's at $100 billion. So this guy thinks it's going to go down 5 times. There's other people that think it's going to go up, and of course it relies heavily on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin were to collapse, if Bitcoin were to go down a ton, like it did in 2017, where it went from 20,000 back to 3,000, and the average people using Coinbase, the average goes down. There's not as much transactions, right? And by the way, they make a ton of money from fees, transactions. I mean, this is going to obviously hurt Bitcoin if Bitcoin goes down, but it's going to hurt Coinbase. It's going to kill Coinbase, and that is one thing that I'm very worried about when I'm looking at this, because crypto right now, Bitcoin, it's up to $64,000 a coin, 63,000, right around there. And with Bitcoin up a ton recently, I mean, guys, it was at 3,000 a coin about a year ago. I personally bought Bitcoin at 9,000 in May. It's up so much, and typically, I believe historically, about 18 months after the halvening, it typically sees its crash. So these are all signs where I'm nervous right now a little bit with Bitcoin in general, and of course Coinbase again, because it could get hit very hard, let's be honest. And looking at the recent Coinbase earnings, we can see, and this is for the Q1 of 2021, they had 56 million verified users, about 6.1 million monthly transacting users, which we'll talk more about in a second here, and assets on the platform of about $220 billion, representing 11% of the crypto asset market share, and that includes 120 billion roughly of assets on platform from institutions. So about half of the 220 is from institutions, the other half obviously more from the retail guys, and trading volume of 335 billion, total revenue of approximately 1.8 billion, so about $2 billion in Q1, not too shabby, and net income of about 730 million to 800 million, with adjusted EBITDA of about 1.1 billion. So this company, I mean, it churns a lot of money from the transaction fees, no doubt about it, which again, that could be a risk. That's a double-edged sword, and we'll see how that plays out. And overall, in 2021, they see the MTU possible scenarios as follow. An MTU being monthly transacting users. They see the high point being of about 7 million. This is kind of the best case scenario. This is if the crypto market capitalization goes even higher, right? Moderate to high crypto asset price volatility. And the mid target would be about 5.5 million MTUs for 2021, which is a little bit under from where we are right now. And this assumes that the crypto market remains flat and low to moderate crypto asset price volatility, because you guys have to realize when there's more volatility, there's more trading, there's more fees. Aha, Coinbase makes a lot more money in those scenarios. And the low scenario here, which is the worst scenario, is 4 million. 4 million MTUs, monthly transacting users, and this scenario assumes a significant decrease in crypto market cap and a decrease in volatility, similar to the decrease in 2018 when obviously the crypto market really got hit hard. So that is a risk. If you think crypto is at a peak right now, if you think Bitcoin it's going to top here and maybe cut in half, go to 30K, sure, they could still make a lot of money on the fees, but overall, if Bitcoin gets slammed, people might be turned away from it, and they might not want to buy and sell it anymore as much. And Coinbase would get hit in that instance. So, and of course, they have a lot of Bitcoin under management or on their platform. What was it? 223 billion assets on platform. That would get hit aggressively. So I'm nervous a little bit. And for me, guys, I'm not buying Coinbase right now. There's no way. I'll probably give it a couple months, to be honest, maybe a couple weeks, see how the volatility is looking like when it IPOs or when it goes on or when it's live, which probably is going to be at 12 p.m. from what I've been hearing. Let's see on ThinkOrSwim. Yeah, it's not even here yet. So yeah, I think 12 p.m. Eastern Standard is when we should be trading live. We'll see how that goes down, and you guys are probably watching this as Coinbase is trading, so let me know in the comments what the heck is going on. I'm super pumped up. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, make sure to check out the free Discord chat down below. You could also get $30 free from M1 Finance by using my link, depositing any amount of money. I think it's $100 actually, and we each get $30, and you can check out the Coinbase link. There's $10 waiting for you there if you deposit any amount of money or you transact in Bitcoin, you buy some Bitcoin. We each get $10 free of Bitcoin, and you can check out my Patreon for exclusive content, buy and sell alerts, call outs, morning update videos every trading day. And if you guys want more access to me, that is on Patreon. All of those are linked down below. I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. As always, stay safe out there. Keep crushing the markets, guys. Peace out.